Hari Om everyone. Wishing you all a very happy new year. Whatever process I'll be sharing with you right now is observed in some parts of Rajasthan and some parts of Madhya Pradesh. We basically celebrate Chaitra Navratri since it's the first day of the entire 9 days. So we begin with Kalash Stapna. So I think everyone must be knowing, like, we take a Kalash and we put coconut over there. We take red cloths and beetles and all that puja samagri we take, and we do this Stapna before we start worshipping Ma Durga. So that's the first thing we do. I mean, we ensure that during all these 9 days we practice cleanliness like very strictly. Like, this is one thing we follow very strictly. Like, no compromise on this part. Then, since it's the first day, we begin with worshipping Ma Shell Putri, and all the 9 days we worship Ma Durga itself. During the first day, till the 9 days, we observe fasting. Like, some of the places they observe fasting for only one day. That's the first day, but usually 9 days fast is observed. And on the first day, we sow some wheat seeds in a clay pot. And by the end of the 9 day, they are fully grown. And then we go ahead and immerse that clay pot in the river or anywhere, pond or anything like that. And our side, we break the fast on 8th day, that is Ashtami, but some places they break it on 9th day, which is Navami. So 8th day, and during all these 9 days, we do not cook rice or wheat or anything because we observe fasting, so nothing of that sort. But on 9th day, we ensure that in the prasad we have rice kheer and chana. That black chana is the most important part. That is, like, has to be included in the prasad along with puri and other delicacies like shakkar para and all. I mean, I'm not sure if anyone knows it, but different kinds of sweets and puri, kheer, all these things are prepared.
So the Tamil New Year is celebrated on the first day of Chittirai month. This is the first month in the Tamil solar calendar, and this day is also known as a Varsha Pirappu. Varsham means year and Pirappu means birth. So this translates to birth of a new year. So on this day, people greet each other with Puthandu Vazhthukal or Iniya Puthandu Nalvazhthukal, which translates to Happy New Year. So as I told, the Tamil calendar is based on the solar cycle, and it has 60 years in total, and each year consists of 12 months. So after the completion of 60 years, which is considered as a century in the Hindu calendar, the calendar begins new with the first year. This is the reason, like, why people celebrate the 60th birthday. So 60th birthday, when a person attains, it is considered that he has lived a century, and that's why the 60th birthday is celebrated in a very grand way. And each year has a distinctive name, and this year is known as Plava Varsham, and this is the 35th year out of the 60 years, and this is the year of wisdom and knowledge. An important event on this day is the reading of the Panchangam or the Almanac in most temples, and people visit these places to hear about what is in store for them in the year ahead in terms of prosperity, happiness, success, and all the things that we expect. The Panchangam is also used to find out the exact dates of festivals, fasting dates to perform shraddh for ancestors, and finding auspicious dates for various family functions. And the astrologers use the Panchangam to do horoscopes and predictions. On this day, a special dish called Mangai Pachadi is prepared, which is made up of different flavors, a variety of flavors, mainly sweet jaggery, mustard, sour raw mango, bitter neem, and red chili. So as per tradition, it's believed that these flavors reflect the various facets of our life, and the fact that one must be prepared for all types of situations in the life, be it bitter, sweet. We just have to take it with a sense of calmness And apart from this mango pachadi, a variety of other vegetarian dishes are prepared on this day, and it is celebrated in a grand way. Hariom.
Hariom everybody. So first, when we get up, we clean the house. Then we have a bath. Then we have an oil bath, and then we make necklaces out of. We make torna out of mango leaves for all the doors. The house. Then we make paisa out of fresh water, and then we have jaggery and neem leaves to signify all the bad and good moments in life.
The very important aspect here is reading Panchang. We follow from Mysore to towards Coorg. So what happens? Our kind of Panchang is released on Yugadi day. So after having a bath and after the puja and all, we read out the Panchang. So it is everybody's horoscope or the details of the year is read out. Then regarding the country also, that aspect is also read out. So this is one particular aspect that is always followed every year.
So this festival is called Satuwan. The name itself, begins with Satu. So Satu is actually it's very similar to besan, but Sattu is prepared. You have to first roast the gram, and then you have to de-skin it, and then you have to make a powder of that. That is Sattu. So what's the benefit of Sattu? Sattu is best for your stomach to prevent your body from getting heat from outside. And Sattu is the simplest source of protein that's available in my region. As you would know that in the Gangetic belt, the summer is, it's horrific. The temperature goes up till 47 and 48 degrees centigrades. So, we have to prepare to prevent ourselves from that summer. And now is the time when we are actually moving from spring to summer. That is the importance of this festival. And Mataji, just correct me if I'm wrong. This is the time when Sun is moving from Meen Rashi into the Mesh Rashi, isn't it? So Sun is moving from Pisces to Aries. So now is the time of having raw mangoes. But as you would know, raw mango, if taken just like that, although it tastes very good, but it increases the Pitta Pravritti and the Vata Pravritti also. So, which is not very good. So, what do we do with raw mango is that we roast it and then we make the sharbat out of that, which in many areas is referred to as aam panna or aam jhor, because it's burnt and then you have to make that sharbat out of that. These are the two things that we do as far as food is concerned. We eat sattu and we take that burnt mango, and there are several chutneys and several other dishes also that is made from the raw mango, but it's all health-wise, it's for the stomach preparation. Like sattu has come now, it's going to stay there in your home for this entire summer season, so use that to save yourself from the heat, especially for the farmers who go out early in the morning, and they need protein as well as they need a lot of they need energy, plus they have to be prevented from summer stroke. So that's why sattu comes into the picture, and that's the reason we celebrate Satuwan.
So I tried actually collecting information about how traditional Tamil New Year is celebrated. So it usually falls on the 14th of April as per the Gregorian calendar. It falls on the 14th of April, and so in Tamil it's called the Chitra Masa. That's the first month of the year. And so how they calculate is, when the sun moves into the Mesha, right? So that's the day they actually calculate it as the new year. And as per the Tamil calendar, there are actually 60 years. Actually, each year has a name, and there are actually only 60 years actually. So after that, it's again it's a cycle actually. So So it's like a person who completes the 60th. It's like a cycle. Like, so that's where they celebrate the 60th birthday. So that's how the Tamil calendar is organized. And so this year is actually called the Plava Varsham. This year is called Plava Varsham, and as per the Tamil calendar, so each year a planet actually is dominant on a particular year, and this year the Mars will be dominating this year as per the calendar. Okay, and so this is a general introduction of the Tamil calendar, and how it's celebrated is on the New Year day. So like there are dishes like moong dal payasam, which is very popular, and one of the very specific dish that is made on this day is it's made with mango jaggery. It's called pachri. I'm not sure what's the equivalent in the name. And the unique thing there is they add the flower of neem to it. The flower of the neem tree. It's processed and it's roasted and it's added to this actually. So there is a couple of significance why they do that. Why they prepare this dish is that one, it indirectly symbolizes that your life is both sweet and bitter, right? So your life is not always smooth, is what it symbolizes. And the other belief what people have is so since this new year starts on a summer, right? Since it starts on a hot summer, so there are many diseases that are associated with the hot summer, right? Like in the olden days, be it measles or chicken pox, a lot of diseases are associated with the hot summer. And it's believed neem actually has a lot of products that can cure a lot of these diseases. So if you see throughout Tamil Nadu, a lot of people eat the neem flowers, and actually a lot of things are made using neem. And a lot of puja is offered to the neem tree, right? Especially to the goddess like Mariamma. A lot of puja is done actually to the neem trees throughout Tamil Nadu. So that's another significance. And one of the notable things in Madurai, where the Meenakshi Amman temple itself, it usually happens in this month. It's a 13-day festival where it's believed that Meenakshi was actually a queen of Madurai, and it's a story, right? So it's actually a 13-day event. It's a very very popular, where a lot of people actually come to watch it. It's a very popular event in Madurai, and throughout the state, actually, wherever there is a goddess, in most of the temples, such kind of festival happens throughout this month. And so to conclude, like, this practice is not only in Tamil Nadu, but some of the eastern countries also, where some of the Tamil Hindus live, like Sri Lanka or Singapore. Very similar tradition, very similar styles are followed.
Hari Om. Today I'm going to talk about Pana Sankranti, the Odia New Year. It is usually celebrated on 14th or 15th of April every year, and is similar to the other New Year festivals of India. As per the solar calendar, the sun transits to the Aries constellation known as Mesha Rashi on this day, and is over the equator, which is also called Vishubha Rekha, and hence the day is known as Mesha Sankranti, Mahavishubha Sankranti, and Meru Sankranti. It also marks the onset of ensuing summer season and is celebrated as the harvesting festival. Some of the observances of Pana Sankranti are primarily in terms of puja and the special food, which is the prasad, which is known as Pana. Pana is the special prasad offered to gods on this day. This drink is made primarily of the pulp of wood apple, more popularly known as bale, Nadia Gora, which is the coconut gratings, chena, which is cottage cheese, and some of the other sweets, seasoned with ginger and black pepper, and is consumed on this day. As said before, since it marks the onset of summer in the region, rendering the people thirsty, hence people used to offer this sweetened water called Pana to the thirsty and needy. It also used to serve as used to be served to friends and relatives as a gesture of goodwill, and because of offering of Pana on this day to the god and to others, and this Sankranti is also commonly known as Pana Sankranti. This drink is extremely healthy and helps to keep the body cool, especially in the hot tropical region of Odisha. Another feature of Odia celebration is the worship of plants in general and Tulsi in particular on this day, in a symbolic gesture to provide relief to Tulsi plant from the heat of the summer. And Chamundiya, which is the shed of leaves, is erected over the chora of Tulsi, which is usually used to be in the courtyard of the house. And a small earthen pot, a pitcher, is filled with this pana, and with a hole at the bottom, and is hung over it, hung over the Tulsi plant. And the hole allows the mixture to flow down drop by drop over the Tulsi plant, and thus also in some way. You can refer to as monsoon post the summer, and a relief obviously to Tulsi during this summer season. Earlier times this pot called theki used to be refilled with water or panna every day during the entire month. A mixture of horse gum flour, banana curd, all of these are offered to basil plant, Tulsi plant. Special offerings called pitha are also made and offered to gods and goddesses to begin the new year on a good note, and shared with friends and family members. Farmers in particular pray for a better harvest and good rain. In this way, the day is spent enjoying and merrymaking. Also on this day, the fishermen community all over the state and their Chaiti festival. Hanuman Jayanti is also a festival which is celebrated on this day.
Karnataka, we celebrate the Chandramana Yugadi, which is based on the lunar cycle. Yugadi is made up of two words, Yuga plus Adi, or Samvatsara plus Adi, which marks the first day of the new Samvatsara. This year's Samvatsara is the Plavanama Samvatsara. Yugadi also marks the beginning of Chaitra Navaratri, which leads up to Ramanavami. As a part of Yugadi, we decorate the houses with Rangoli and with Mavina Torana, which means garland made up of mango leaves on our doors. As a part of the puja, we do Panchanga Shravan. We also prepare Bevu and Bella, which is a mixture of neem and jaggery, which bestows immense health benefits. It also symbolizes that whatever comes our way, whether it's bitter or sweet, we need to take it in our stride. As a part of lunch, we prepare mango rice, obbatu and payasam. Thank you.
Vishu is celebrated on first day of Medam, that is Malayalam calendar Medam, the 9th month of the solar calendar. The most significant tradition of Vishu is Vishu Kani. Kani literally means that which is seen first. And Vishu word is kind of, it came from the Malayalam Sanskrit word Vishuvam, that is means equal. So Vishu Kani is the speciality. So Vishu Kani is arranged as follows. We keep Krishna wrapped in yellow silk at the center, and we decorate him with Kanikonna. This flower is special flower which blossoms in this Vishu season. And in English, this flower is called golden shower. So it's a tree basically. So it is huge, and I have seen this in Karnataka as well. So, and in the Kani, with this in front of statue, in the vessel or in the tray, elders will keep all vegetables and the fruits of the season, like mango, jackfruit, yellow cucumber. Basically, the yellow color is the auspicious golden color. So, and we keep even wall kannadi, Aranmula wall kannadi, which represents sankalpa as a sankalpa of Devi, and also this mirror as a sankalpa, like as if it's like abundance of the Kani. With that, we are seeing ourselves. That is also a meaning. And also we keep kajal for Devi, Devi as well as, and with that we keep again the new dress, gold, money, and Gita. Few will keep Gita, water, fresh water also kept there. So it will be kind of full darshan, kind of we arrange in such a way. And in the Vishu day, the elder of the family wakes up other youngsters in the family and welcome them to the Kani, eyes closed from the behind, and they can see the darshan of Lord at the first day of the year. That is the significance. So, and after that, once everybody are finished their darshan, at the first thing in the day, next is the Vishu Kainitam, is the another tradition that is also given by the elder of the family, father basically. Father gives Kainitam to everybody in the family. Money, usually money is given to everybody, and youngsters will take blessings from the father. And when it comes to next, will be Sadhya and things like that. Sadhya is no, we also include a neem and kind of salts or sweet food in the Sadhya. And what I have seen very particular is that is Unniyappam. That is makes it is like Kajaya mix, which is deep fried in the Paddu stand. That is a small appam. And it is a Guruvayur Prasadam as well. In Malayalam Kerala temples, this is actually the prasadam which we get in temples. So that is all about Vishu. So wishing you all happy Ugadi and Vishu.